Avoid these 5 countertops at all cost. I've installed more countertops than I can count at this point, and the pattern I keep seeing is the same one every time. Somebody picks a surface based on how it looks under a showroom light on a perfectly clean sample with no food, no kids, and no life happening anywhere near it. That's not your kitchen. Today, we're gonna go through 5 countertop types that are generating real regret within the first year. Some are fixable if you know what you're getting into, but one of them is so misunderstood that I have had homeowners in tears over what happened to their brand new surface within weeks. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which countertops to walk past and what to choose instead. Let's get into it. First on my list, tile countertops. Tile countertops are kind of having a comeback right now. And I get the appeal. They're affordable, $10 to $30 per square foot installed, tons of variety, and the do-it-yourself community loves them. The tile is fine. It's the grout that causes a problem. Grout is porous. It absorbs liquids, traps food particles, and in a kitchen where coffee, tomato sauce, and olive oil are a daily occurrence, those grout lines become permanent stain collectors. Sealing it helps, but your sealing doesn't make the grout less porous. It just reduces the absorption. And you're probably gonna reseal every 6 months to a year. Now, add the surface itself. A tile countertop is not a flat countertop. Every grout line is a tiny valley. Try rolling out dough on that. Try setting a glass of wine down without it wobbling. Tile is a beautiful backsplash material. On a wall, grout lines are an accent. On a countertop, the surface that takes the most direct contact in your kitchen, they become a daily frustration that no amount of sealing fully solves. If you love the look, large format porcelain slab gives you the tile aesthetic without a single grout line on your work surface. Now, that's one maintenance headache, but the next countertop actually reacts to food you're cooking with. And the damage starts the first week. White marble countertops. Anybody that's watched my channel knows that we've talked about marble all the time. I need to be clear and upfront. I'm not here to tell you marble is ugly. White marble is maybe the single most beautiful surface you can put in a kitchen. The veining, the depth, the way it catches light. Trust me, I get why people want it. But here's what's actually happening at the chemical level. Marble is a calcium carbonate, it etches. And etching isn't staining. This is the distinction the showroom never explains clearly enough. Staining is when liquid absorbs into the stone. Sealing helps with that. Etching is when an acidic substance chemically reacts with the stone itself and dissolves a thin layer of the surface. The result is a dull, flat spot that looks like a smudge you cannot wipe away because it's not on the surface. It is the surface. Lemon juice, vinegar, wine, coffee, tomato sauce. That's not the unusual event in a kitchen. That's a Tuesday. And here's the part. Sealing does not prevent etching. So you have a surface that costs $75 to $200 a square foot, and it reacts to the basic chemistry of cooking. You want to look out. If you want the look without the chemistry, quartz gives you the veining with zero porosity. Quartzite, natural stone, harder and denser, handles acid without flinching. Those are smarter choices for a working kitchen. Marble's problem is chemistry. This next one is completely different. It's structural. And most people don't discover it until something cracks. Concrete countertops. Concrete has this industrial artisan appeal that I completely understand. Hand poured, one of a kind, great texture, roughly 65 to 135 per square foot installed, but concrete is fundamentally a material designed for sidewalks, foundations, and not food prep. First, it cracks. Not if, but when. Concrete shrinks as it cures, and hairline cracks are considered normal. Not a defect, normal. They form at the weakest points around sink cutouts, inside corners, anywhere the slab spans are unsupported. Second, it's porous. Oil, wine, coffee, anything that sits on poorly sealed surface leaves a mark. Annual sealing required, not optional, absolutely required. Third, it's concrete. It's heavy. A standard concrete countertop runs 25 to 35 pounds per square foot. A 30 square foot counter weighs in close to 1,000 pounds. Your cabinets need to be built for that. Quick mention, if you're making countertop decisions right now and you want professional level guidance throughout that process, click the link in my description. At builtbybeckermedia.com, we are here to help. Concrete in the right setting, outdoor kitchen, bar top, utility space can genuinely work. As a primary kitchen countertop where you cook every day, it's a commitment that most people don't understand until they are already living with it. Quartz gives you a matte industrial feel without the cracking, sealing, or weight. Those first three had real beauty, but real consequences. The next one is the most popular countertop on social media right now. And failure mode is something your kitchen deals with every single day. Butcher block countertops. Butcher block is everywhere. The warm wood tone against white cabinets, the cottage core farmhouse look that's been dominating renovation content. And on paper, the price, it's great. $20 to $60 per square foot versus $50 to $200 for quartz or quartzite. Sounds like a smart financial decision. In a real kitchen, it's a real full-time relationship with maintenance. Wood is porous. Butcher block absorbs water. And the spot that takes the most water exposure is right next to the sink. Exactly where you're rinsing, draining, and wiping. Without constant sealing, you get water rings, then swelling, then darkened edges that no sanding fixes. With constant maintenance, you are oiling monthly and sanding the entire surface every 1 to 3 years. That's not a one-time project. That's a reoccurring commitment. There is also heat. A hot pan on butcher block, well, leaves a mark. Anything above 350 degrees on direct contact affects the surface. In the rush of actual cooking, the countertop is going to take some hits. Butcher block as an accent on an island top, a prep station away from the sink, beautiful, beautiful choice. Butcher block as your primary surface in a kitchen that gets used every day? That's a maintenance project disguised as a countertop. Quartz in a warm tone finish gives you similar visual warmth without the moisture. And personally, one of my favorite choices. Everything so far cost real money. The last one is the cheapest option available. And it's not here because it's cheap. It's because of what happens when the cheapest catches up. Builder grade laminate. Well, here we are. I'm being specific here. I'm not talking about all laminate. Modern, high pressure laminate can hold up respectively. What I'm talking about is the builder grade, low pressure stuff that ends up in spec homes and budget renovation. A thin layer of printed plastic over particle board. Well, with some seams every 8 feet or so. $8 to $20 a square foot. And it looks like it, sorry. The edges peel first. Heat, steam, moisture, the adhesive fails and the laminate lifts. Once it lifts, water gets underneath. And the particle board that gets wet does not recover. It swells permanently. Then it scratches, sliding the plate, dragging a pot, using a knife without a board. Laminate shows every one. And hot pans leave permanent scorch marks that nothing removes. Listen, if laminate is what your budget allows right now, there's no shame in that. But go for high pressure laminate with beveled edges and tight seams and making a lasting kitchen. And if you can stretch the budget a little, the butcher block I was just talking about, despite everything I said about it, is still a better value than bottom shelf laminate. At least you can sand and refinish wood. You cannot refinish particle board. Here's the thing I want you to take away. None of these materials are evil. Every one of them can work in the right context. The problem is never the material. The problem is the gap between what you expected and what you got. And the gap almost always comes from not having the right information before you sign the check. A showroom is designed to make you fall in love. Your kitchen is designed to cook dinner. Build for the Tuesday. And check that link in my description for any of your design and renovation needs. BuiltByBeckerMedia.com, we're here to help. Drop a comment. What countertop do you have right now? And whether you'd like to use it again. Hit subscribe. I got a lot more of these coming, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching Built by Becker.